welcome to 2 for Tuesday, where I take one ingredient and use it for 2 reasons. My name is Manaresi, and welcome to my kitchen. Well, today I have some delicious pumpkin donuts. I decided to do this video because a couple days ago I was on Living Dayton, which is a local TV show here, and it was such a great hit. I wanted to share it with everyone who doesn't actually get that channel. Because let's face it, not everybody lives in Dayton, Ohio. But something I just really want to also use this as a teaching tool for this week. Something a little bit different. Fall is here upon us. We all love fall. The problem is that there are a lot of baked goodies, and we're always looking for, well, at least I'm always looking for great ways to healthify recipes, and this is a great one that you can do that with. I've made some batter earlier in the day because I didn't have time to bake it before I left the house. I don't know if you've ever run into that problem. Ran out of time, oh my goodness. This is kind of a great recipe for that. But some tips I have is that you can always substitute with more natural product like dried fruit or honey or agave syrup, whatever you want. But the thing is that when it comes to baking, it is a science. So you have to be really careful when it comes to swapping this for that. One great tool, kind of my not so hidden secret, is that King Arthur Flour has a hotline that you can call, and then it can tell you what to substitute. If you say you want to use almond flour with something, they're going to tell you what other ingredients you're going to need to adjust so that you get the same kind of texture and feel, even though you're changing out some things. Cooking's a lot easier. I want more parsley, put more parsley in. It's not going to make a big difference. But when you're working with chemical reactions, hate to tell you if you hated science class, but you really do have to know what's going to change how your product's going to come out. And what's one great tip is, in the most cases, if it calls for a white processed sugar, you can, generally speaking, reduce the amount of sugar by about 25%, and you won't tell the difference between texture and taste. So that's what I did with these pumpkin donuts. Originally called for about a cup and a half of sugar, and I used a little bit more than a cup. And really, it makes like 2 to 3 dozen donuts. So you can consider all those factors. It's really not a ton of extra sugar for you, and I really like that. Plus, we're gonna bake them rather than fry them, and that makes all the difference in the world. So my batter here, which has been sitting for a couple hours, I did stir it a little bit, like so. It has 1.5 cups of fresh pumpkin puree. Don't have fresh pumpkin, no problem. I'm just a nerd like that. It's something that I love to do in the fall. You can use canned pumpkin. Make sure that the can says pumpkin and not squash, because some companies do substitute squash for pumpkin in hopes that you don't recognize it. If you really want the pumpkin-y flavor, really make sure that's what it says. It has 3 eggs, 1/2 cup of oil in it. I almost said olive oil. Not olive oil, it's vegetable oil. It has a cup and 3/4 or so of all-purpose flour. I prefer King Arthur. This is not a plug for them, it's just they make really great product and I like using them. Cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger. He uses baking soda, this is something I always have to double check. He uses baking powder, okay? Because I tend to think that that says soda on it, and so I will tell people it has baking soda when it really has baking powder. Because I know it's the white can, I think of it really as the white can, not the orange box. That's technical how it goes in my house. The white can versus the orange box. So use baking soda, a little bit of salt, and then we're gonna blend it all together. And then eventually we're gonna do all the ingredients but the flour, blend them all together, and then you're gonna add in the flour. And then you put them in donut pans. If you don't have donut pans, don't worry. You can make these into muffins and they will taste just as great. I baked them at 350 degrees for about 15 to 18 minutes, depending on how much batter you put in there. And they come out looking delicious like this. Now what you can do, if you so desire, this bag has sugar and cinnamon in it, and you can toss it in there as well. and make cinnamon sugar pumpkin donuts. They're delicious either way. So if you're really trying to watch your sugar intake, don't put the sugar on the outside. Or just leave them plain. And I really like them that way too. You can make these, like I said, into muffins, no problem. You can also make these gluten-free by using a gluten-free flour. Make sure it's like one of those 1-to-1 cup measuring things. If you do that, then you don't have to put any other stabilizers or anything like that in it. They will still turn out delicious. So when you're making your cookies, when you're making your breads and your baked goods this fall, just go by the, hey, I could probably swap out, if it calls for white processed sugar, I could probably take out about 25% of that. If you're trying to look for more alternative means, again, please check out King Arthur Flour. They have a baker's hotline that's free, and they'll tell you what you can and cannot do. They're the experts, and they'll tell you if your product's gonna come out great or not. So those are my tips. I hope that you get to use them this fall with baking with you and your family. And I hope you're having a great evening. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. You can come steal my donut. You're gonna steal my donut, aren't you? This one doesn't have sugar on it. Okay. Well. Oh. We hope you have a great evening. As you can tell, these don't last long. Talk to you later. Bye.